Hello and high fives out there to everybody. My name is Jack Jennings and this is my story. I had to make some sort of a deal, hopefully. What would any or all of you do if someone offered you 170 major appliances? So a light comes on in my head. What happens next? Hi everybody, thank you for joining part 6 of my story. Hopefully you will remember in the end of part 5 that there was a fellow that was throwing steel in my heartfelt moment. You know, I needed to go talk to him about just something that a light came on in my head. And well, this is the start of that conversation. After he showed me the warehouse, all the mold and everything, and so, you know, I could fix that stuff and maybe work something out here. So I told him about, right off the bat, it came right out. So I told him about my life changed, you know, and my frost went boom, Jesus talked to me, doves flew by my head, Maggie Mae's jumping all around. And, you know, and through Jesus, I told him, I said, I have God with me and my life has changed. And I told him that I was receiving 170 appliances and I had nowhere to put them. And if you remember, I had my head in my hands and I was praying about that, you know, and I just didn't know what to do, where I was going to put them. But I am and was a contractor, a builder for many years, and then I could clean and sanitize, replace the drywall, the insulation, and paint the repaired walls. I told him, I said I could do that. Maybe, just maybe, you know, you had all the stuff right there. It was all purchased. And for those other guys that just never really showed up, they showed up, but they didn't want to do anything. You know, I was hoping maybe that the building would be available and I could use it, fix it up and use it. Maybe for 30 days to sell the appliances and stuff. And the light just came on in his face. My light, it wasn't my light, but his light. And it said, we just worked a deal out right there and he handed me the keys. Now you talk about a planned moment from across the street, had nowhere to put things. That's a planned moment. Somebody up there is working on this stuff. So he said that he'd just give me credits for the work and I could have the building. It was a 2,500 square foot building. It was like, I'm just, wow, you know, for 1 month, you know, for the work being completed, then we could see where we were at that time when all that was done. He also said he would just take all this metal, rolling shelf units, all the stuff, just get rid of it. Get rid of all that stuff. I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with this building anymore. Just fix it and clean it up, please. So April 17th, I got the power and utilities on. I worked night and day getting the walls repaired as I was moving all those appliances in. And when I finally got all the appliances in the building, I just looked around and I have an instant store blooming, and guess who's my partner? Jesus. That's the way I looked at it. On April 24th, I opened a store in the garage area. It had a drive-in garage, and bring stuff in and load it in a garage, pretty good size in that warehouse. And the rest of it wasn't quite ready to put a store. The appliances were in the rest of the place, but it still kind of needed cleaned and stuff. I needed a name. So I came up with this one, Recycled Jack's, for my store. As God had recycled my heart, Jack's heart, me, that day in the field, recycled me. Recycled Jack. So I put the ads in Craigslist and the signs out in front of the building in the streets and all the, boy, I tell you, the sales were going up, selling things, appliances were selling very well. And the owners came by, you know, in about the third week, and just I had more inventory, I think, than I started with. Actually, was selling things. People kept bringing stuff, and they said, "Well, man, you sure still have a lot of inventory, so we'll just give you another month if that's okay." I said, "Yeah, I need it." And you know, I was gaining stuff, a lot of stuff. I salvaged the steel, sold the racks, and that I had, some of them, listed stuff on eBay, those 5-inch wheels, and they sold rather quickly, which started helping me pay for that second month's rent, which wasn't that much. And you know, now folks were just donating and dropping stuff off at that store, my store. And the Vineyard Resource Center in Fort Collins was receiving a lot of overflow donations, which they were able to share with me that helped grow my inventory. I just kept growing. It wasn't shrinking, it was growing. So on June 4th, Recycle Jacks officially opened, which is one of the best spiritual things that's happened, so far that I've accomplished through my Holy Father and Lord Jesus. One of the best things. I was able to help people in need. They'd walk in, they need stuff. I could just give it to them. They didn't need any money because it's free to me, so I could just give it to them. And yet there was always enough. People bought stuff, put money under the little register I had, and walk out. It was just amazing to keep that store going. There was always enough. And my personal bills that I paid, there was always enough for that. A couple times real close, but for the most part, it was working. During that time, the owners of the building, they said, well, we'll just give you a 6-month lease, and which actually grew into a 2-year lease. 2-year lease. I had the store. So how about God's laid out plans for us? Just think about that now. On February 18, 2012, part 1, my story started with no hope, $2.27. To part 6 of my story on June 4, 2012, that's 4 months. 4 months, now I have a 2,500 square foot store, all of it planned in advance by my Holy Father. It had to be, all of it started by locking into Jesus and following Him on His path. It's amazing. Now what? Now what? Could this happen to anyone? Maybe someone out there is listening today that needs some kind of help as well. So let's say into part 6, and part 7 is coming up, and that's going to be the end of the story, but it's not the end of my story, but will be the end of this part of what happened to me in just a few months. But you'll see in part 7, we'll be able to, you'll like it. We'll see you in part 7. Have a great day. So what have we learned so far from watching this video today? Number 1, following Jesus will always have enough. Number 2, when you help those folks in need, you'll receive blessings from above.